Are we live? I think we are live. I think we are live. We are live. Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Welcome. As you can see, I'm here in front of Shibuya Crossing. It's the most famous street crossing here in Eskilstuna. No, this feels so weird. This feels really, really weird. This ain't Tokyo. No, and this is certainly not Shibuya Crossing. Welcome to Eskilstuna, a small town in Sweden. I think it has about 80,000 people living here. I will stay here for a few more days. I'm here with my family, my wife and daughter. We traveled here a few days ago. My mom lives around here, so we're staying at her place now for the few first nights. And we are just enjoying the peace and quiet, which is just such a polar opposite of what we are used to back home in Japan. It's a Sunday morning here, almost 9 o'clock in the morning, and I know that you are all super excited about the weather, so let's weather. Let's see. So here we go. Eskilstuna, 16 degrees and sunny. It will get cloudy and rain later today, and 81% humidity. That's very high. It was like 33 yesterday, but I think it's because it's been raining maybe all night. So just for contrast, let's check out the Tokyo weather. I think it's more than twice as hot in Tokyo. Oh, I don't even have Tokyo in here. Let's see. Tokyo. Okay, Tokyo is only 28 today. Feels like 33. Anyway, yes, I will be in Sweden. For those of you who are not aware of why I'm in Sweden, I'm Swedish, my family lives here, and we kind of decided on a whim to travel here, the entire family. So I will spend the rest of this month here in Sweden to kind of relax and enjoy a little bit of peace and quiet. That's not a Swedish flag, but a Swedish, I don't know what these are called in English. It's the skinnier version of a flag. How was my flight? Good. Oh wait, before we get into that, I still want to do a shout out to Bit of a Wonder, because he's this channel's mega sponsor, and I hope he's happy to sponsor my walks from Sweden this month. I hope he won't feel too disappointed about that. But yeah, he's a great guy. He does walking videos from the US. His channel is linked in the video description, and you should totally check it out. So, thank you, George Lopez. Thank you for the super chat. The flight. So we flew out on Tuesday, Japan time. I think our departure was around 11 in the morning. It was like 9 hours to Helsinki, where we changed flights, and then there was 2 hours wait and another 1 hour flight to Stockholm. The long flight, I had expected hell. Oh, okay. The first human being to pass on this live stream. Amazing. There are people here. So I had expected hell. I had expected it to be really, really tiring. Because everybody says that flying with small babies is, it's one of the least pleasant experience one can have in life, especially, well, at least for us fortunate wealthy people living in the wealthy part of the world. So I had expected it to be really, really tough, but and it was bad. I mean, when she was awake, she was constantly unhappy, and she's in the age now. She just turned 1, by the way, 2 days ago. So she's in the age now when she constantly needs to explore and she constantly needs stimulation. And when you're stuck in an airplane, there's not that much to do. So, but she slept. She slept twice during the flight, about 2 hours each time. So that gave us quite some relief. So that was quite nice, and I think we both in the end felt that, wow, okay, like it was not as bad as we had expected. It was of course not a pleasant experience, and I'm not looking forward to flying back to Japan, but yeah, we managed. And then we checked in at a hotel at the airport in Stockholm, because after that trip we felt that let's just check in as the closest hotel to the airport. So we did that and stayed one night there, and then we took the 2-hour train ride down to my mom's place. So we arrived here 3 days ago, and since then we've just been kind of taking it easy, enjoying to have my mom around, helping us with our daughter, giving us a little bit of free time and peace and quiet every now and then. It's just so nice to have an extra set of arms that can, you know, cuddle her and hug her when she gets grumpy, or feed her when she gets hungry. So that helps a lot. And we had a bit of jet lag, a few nights when we didn't sleep that well, but I think now we are back in sync with the reality here. So now we are planning the rest of our weeks here in Sweden. So we will go down to the south of Sweden on Friday and stay there for about 10 days to Malmö, one of my hometowns. And then we will also do a couple of day trips to Stockholm from here. Yeah, other than that, it's mostly about taking it easy and relax for us. So yeah. Oh, Jenny, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to my most ambitious moderator, who has been with me for so long and probably attended the most of my streams during this one long year that I've been streaming. Penance, is that what they're calling in Queen's English? Okay, penance. I was not aware of that word. Now I know. Thank you. But yeah, it's so nice. You know, it feels like when you're here, when you take like one breath, it gives you twice the amount of oxygen that's what you get from one breath in the hot and humid and sticky Tokyo summer. So that's very nice. It's very nice to not have to feel sticky and sweaty all the time. And I'm amazed just by this quiet weather. So that's also a nice change. And also one thing that I didn't really expect that I would care much about, but that actually feels kind of like a relief, is the fact that since there's so few people, it's very easy to keep distance. So it's not really necessary to wear a mask here. Most people don't wear masks. People wear it on the trains and so on, and when they can't avoid being close to other people. But yeah, usually, you know, on a walk like this, it would just be kind of ridiculous if I were wearing a mask, right? So that's actually quite nice. These are probably the closest thing you will get to high rises in this town. I'm not sure, but I think these might very well be the highest buildings, the tallest buildings in Eskilstuna. And as you can see, this is like some sort of train depot, lots of cargo trains here. And for today's walk, by the way, I will probably take you through most of this central part of the city. So I started in the area where my mom lives, now I'm heading down to the central station, which we will hit in maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And then from there I will walk to the older part of this town, which is actually quite nice. And stroll around there a little bit. If we find a nice cafe, I might grab a cup of coffee somewhere. This is Sweden, so beer is a little bit more difficult to get hold of. And sorry, the chat is quite active, so I'm not really noticing all the messages. Just a moment, let me open the other phone. Oh, thank you, Jenny. Thank you very much for the super chat. Oh, okay, so everybody said, okay, everybody thought that it's your birthday, but actually it's not, right? Is that so? Because you said happy, buy a birthday present to ME, which is short for Mini Explorer, which is the nickname we've given to my daughter. Oh, here we have a cool Swedish skateboarder. Yeah, so the beer situation here in Sweden. There are kind of convenience stores, but they're only allowed to sell beer with an alcohol percentage of 3.5%. Hur mår du? Jag mår bra, tack! To buy anything with a higher alcohol percentage than 3.5, you need to go to a liquor store, which is this chain of stores that is owned by the government. And I don't think they're open on Sundays, actually. Back in the days they were closed also on Saturdays, but I think some of them are open on Saturdays now. これは生まれた育てた町ではないですね。15年前、なんか僕が日本に引っ越した時ぐらいは、うちのお母さんはこの町に引っ越しました。僕はこの町は住んでたことないです。So I never actually lived in this city, by the way. Which is what one of my viewers was asking about now. I've never lived here. My mom moved here for a job around 15 or maybe it's 20 years ago now. Ah, the dog that hates you, thank you very much. There's a little supermarket, but I think it's very closed right now. Population 67,000. Okay, wow, that's even less. I said 80,000, right? It's even smaller than that. Swedish cities in general are small. Like, I mean, our capital, Stockholm, has like 1 million people. Then the second largest, Gothenburg, is about 500,000. Well, probably these numbers are inaccurate. I'm sure someone will correct me in the chat. And then the third largest, Malmö, where I grew up, or not grew up, but where I'm born, that's about 350,000, I think. Compared to Japanese cities, those numbers are extremely low. The entire country of Sweden has a smaller population than Tokyo, but the country is also bigger than Japan. So that puts things into perspective, I guess. And yes, this is the first stream from Sweden. Coffee shop 行かないの？行きたいけどこの時間多分やってないと思います。日曜日の朝の9時はちょっと早すぎる。今やってないと思います。And now I bumped into a viewer. Hej! Du hittade min stream. Vad roligt.
Jag råkar komma upp, jag går ut på morgonen och tar powerwalk.
Ja, okej.
Hoppar den upp.
Ja, vad roligt. Jag bor i vanliga fall i Japan.
Ja, jag vet.
Ja, du känner till, du har sett min kanal eller?
Jag hittade för många år sedan när du la upp den där kronskogen.
Ja.
Det var då jag hittade kanalen.
Ja, vad roligt. Är det okej om jag visar dig?
Ja.
I bumped into a viewer. He's watching my stream now. That's funny. Where was I? I don't remember. My viewer says hi to you. Det är 374 som tittar nu. Ja. Men vad roligt. Så du har sett en del av mina filmer från Japan och sådär också?
Ja. När det passar när man jobbar då blir det ju...
Ja, det är inte så lätt. Ja, men vad roligt.
Nu börjar jag jobba, men på semestern har man kul. Ibland kommer ju inte upp någon att det är på gång.
Nej, Google eller YouTube är lite opålitligt kan man väl säga. De här notifikationerna funkar inte som de ska. First guest walker, right? Okosha senyo. Hai, それはまあ日本と同じ、まあ世界中は同じと思いますけど。So yeah, this viewer I bumped into, he found, so like 2 years ago I made a video, like a Swedish forest walking video, which was actually filmed in the outskirts of this city, and he found that video, and since then he's been following my channel. So now he saw that I was streaming here and decided to join me, I guess. Vet du om det finns några kaféer eller så som öppnar så här dags?
Söndag på den här tiden tror jag.
Det är inte mycket va? Nej. Jag kan tänka mig det.
Det är det är de här Willys och såna mataffärer.
De kan ha kaffemaskin, ja just det.
Ja, det är små kaféer man kan köpa.
Just det.
Om de öppnar.
Ja.
Det vet jag.
Nej, jag förstår. Nej, jag tänkte nog att det skulle bli svårt, men jag har lite det som signum på mina promenader, att antingen så tar jag en öl någonstans eller en kaffe någonstans. Men jag tror båda de alternativen är ganska...
På någon bensinmack.
Bensinmack kanske, just det. Ja. Sorry, no subtitles. I was just asking him for advice if there's any coffee shops that are open at this hour, but maybe only like the gas stations might have coffee and be open at this hour, but not a proper café. Jag tror jag ska visa dem lite här, stationen och sådär. Men kul att du hittade mig. Ha det bra. Ja, gör det. Okej, hej. So that was funny. Bumped into a viewer on my first Sweden stream. I have a hunch that it might happen more often here in Sweden than in Japan. Hej då! Detsamma. So here's the train station. The central station of this city. It's a pretty humble station, as you can see. So from here you can go to Stockholm. It's this direction, about 1 hour, and you will be at Stockholm Central Station. So we are planning to do that. But yeah, there's some things that are kind of unusual for me as a Swede, like to see graffiti, or like for someone living in Japan, seeing graffiti and things like that is not so common, but by Swedish standards I would say this station is relatively clean. Let's see if the main station building is open, then we can have a look at that. It's a little bit different than Shinjuku Station, yeah. I think Shinjuku Station has like 2 or 3 million people passing through every day. I'm pretty sure this station has slightly fewer. So it's quiet. There's a ticket vending machine. I don't know. Yeah, they do have like manned ticket booths, I guess. And then actually this convenience store is actually open. So let me get a coffee. Let me get a coffee. So here's the Swedish convenience. That's exotic. The magazine section is pretty big actually. I'm a little bit surprised. I didn't think Swedish people bought magazines anymore. Yeah, no mask reflection. But yeah, let's grab a coffee here. And this is what I love, Swedish candy. This is one of the best things. I love these. Hej!
Hej.
En kaffe tack. Liten.
En liten?
Ja.
Är det bra så?
Ja.
Ska vi fyra?
Ja.
Där vi stoppar in.
Aha. Den inte.
Vi gör sådär ibland.
Nu. Ja. Tack. Kopparna finns där också. Ja, okej.
Vanlig bryggkaffe i ett handen.
Okej. Man väljer själv vilken sak man vill ha, eller?
Ja.
Okej. Ja. So this is new for me. I do not remember how to buy a coffee in Sweden, but I think it's as simple as pressing this. So sorry, I could not really read what you were saying in the chat. Usually, so the thing with Sweden is like you can usually not pay with cash anywhere, so it's all like card transaction. Let's see. Here we go. I need a lid for my coffee as well. So this coffee was about 3 times more expensive than in Japan. If you buy a small coffee at the convenience store in Japan, it's 100 yen. This is always a pain. I think I need both my hands to put on this lid. Just a second. Yeah, Sweden is very much a cashless society. So we have to pay pretty much everything with card. But paying with card is very quick and convenient. Like you just use it like a Suica card in Japan. You just tap it at the card reader, which we can do in Japan too nowadays with the credit and debit cards. But yeah, here in Sweden, that's usually the only option. So 24 kronor, which is about 300 yen. But if you bring your own cup, you get 3 crowns discount, and if you're a student or a retired, it's much cheaper. So these lower prices here, that's like the student and retired person's price. Okay, so and I'm sure you want to hear my judgment if this coffee is comparable to Japanese. I think it's actually, well, let's see. This was not good. This was worse than a Japanese convenience store coffee. But in Japanese convenience stores, it's also a little bit hit and miss. Especially when you go for black coffee, like I did now. But this one was not great, to be honest. A little bit too, I don't know, a bit too bitter for my taste. But maybe it's just a preference thing. Here's a bicycle garage. That looks quite modern. This looks kind of similar to what it could have been in Japan. If there are many campings in town, I don't know if there are campsites around here. The thing with Sweden though is that we have this kind of law, or it's like in the constitution, we have this like freedom to roam, which means that basically you're allowed to camp anywhere, as long as it's just for one night and you don't pollute it. And of course you can't camp on someone's like yard, but if it's like it doesn't have it can be private land, because some of the forests are owned privately, for example, and you can camp there. But yeah, I don't know exactly how to draw the line, but basically you can camp anywhere. Allemansrätten is what it's called in Swedish. Yes. Here's a public housing, I think, or like cheap apartments. Quite convenient location though, just next to the train station. But these are probably some of the less desirable apartments. Skanska, yes, Joel, that's the company you work for, right? Looks like they're building some new apartments maybe here. Yes, I'm in a small city and it's a Sunday morning, so it's too early. Nothing is open, everybody's asleep. But it's the forecast said rain later today, so I decided to, if I was going to stream, I wanted to do it when the weather was still all right. But yeah, it's a small town. It's quiet. It's in general, like even during the busy times here, it's like way quieter than quiet times in our local neighborhood. So and that's really nice actually. Both me and my wife really enjoyed that, and especially with the stroller and just that it's, yeah, I don't know, we're probably getting really old but we super much enjoy peace and quiet these days. Is it true that business open very late in Sweden? You mean like the shops that they open late? No, I don't think so. I don't know. Let's see. If we go down here, we will get to the main shopping street, but it's completely empty and no one's there. So, let's go down there anyway, just so you get a feeling for it. Välkommen hem. Tack Johanna. I mean, up until now, I've really loved living in Tokyo, and I loved living in a big city with lots of people and lots of things going on all the time. But I think for the long term, and especially now with a child, it's quite enjoyable to have a bit more peace and quiet. Like my priorities has clearly changed. That's what I'm trying to say. Wow, I can't believe that almost 500 people are watching my live stream from this Swedish small town. It's kind of unreal. Per-Ola, välkommen. Jag är i Sverige nu. Det kunde man inte tro. Vi måste ses. Will you walk in other small cities in Sweden too? Yes, I will. I'm not sure how much I will live stream from here, to be honest. But we'll see. I will try at least one live stream every week, and then I will try to record a couple of 4K videos every week as well. That's the plan. Are you in Sweden permanently now? No, I'm just here on summer holiday. I will be here until the end of August. Here's a parking called the Wild Boar. Interesting name. Ja, vill du komma till Eskilstuna? Det vore skitkul om du kan göra det. Det skulle underlätta enormt för oss. Vi tänkte nog åka upp till Stockholm någon dag nu i veckan också, men vi kommer nog ha ett ganska fullspäckat schema när vi är där. Det är så många vi vill träffa. Så om du gärna kommer hit en sväng så vore det jättebra. So we are approaching the main square of this city. My wife, well, she doesn't work for a Japanese company, so it's okay. She works for a very kind workplace. City name, please. It's in the video description. And I think what you're seeing down there is like the main... I think it's kind of famous, this church. It's one of these... I don't even know how to say it in English. Maybe Per-Ola, do you know what domkyrka? I think this is a domkyrka. Do you know what that is called in English? So here's the main square, yay! Here's the heart of Eskilstuna. Here's the soul. Here's where all the action is. Not a single person here, but again, it's a early Sunday morning. Oh, there's actually 2 people sitting on a bench and a third one passing on a bicycle. It is very dramatic. It is very dramatic. Is it cathedral? Is that domkyrka? Maybe. Cathedral, yes. Okay, there we go. So that church down here, that's not a church, it's a cathedral, and it's one of a handful of those that we have in Sweden. And here's the glorious main shopping street. Basically, this is the Ginza of Eskilstuna, where you can shop at amazing institutions such as Taco Bar, which is a bar where they sell tacos, and Teknikmagasinet, which is basically the big camera of Sweden. It's a home electronics stores. So yeah, this is what a Sunday morning in Sweden looks like. Yeah, this is the main Schoten guy. And that's the cathedral down there. I will pass that closer, but I will take like this route, because down here is like the old town. So let's walk down there. This is still lockdown in Sweden. There has never been any lockdown in Sweden. So no. One big difference actually, it feels like coming here, coming from Japan, coming to Sweden, it feels like the pandemic is over here. People are living life very normally, at least from the looks of it. And yeah, the big difference is that no one's wearing a mask. And here's Kebabhuset. I don't know what to say about Kebabhuset, Per-Ola, but I think if you come here, we need to go there and find out. So kebab is very common. It's basically, kebab is the gyudon of Sweden, the beef bowl. Is it because people are vaccinated? A lot of people are vaccinated, and I think in general things didn't change that much here, which initially led to a lot of people dying, but these days the number of deaths are very low here in Sweden, so that's good. Is it much of a culture shock to readjust to Sweden? Yes, it is. It feels bizarre. I don't know how to say it. again, like the biggest difference is like walking around outside without a mask. It basically feels like I'm walking around without pants. Like I forgot something very important and I'm doing something very wrong, something not socially accepted, except that it's not wrong. It is socially accepted. But it's the same feeling. I don't know if any one of you has ever left your house without pants, but if you have, you probably know what I'm talking about. When are you going to Malmö? We're going to Malmö on Friday, and we will be there for about 10 days. So if you're able to come down, that would be great. But then also, like, the big difference to come back to Sweden. It feels like here in Sweden, compared to Japan, everybody lives their life however they want. Like there's not that much rules and norms from the society. Like you can wear whatever you want, you can, look the way you want, which is quite different from Japan, where people, especially if you're working at a company, you have a pretty limited set of ways to kind of customize the way you look. So that's a big difference. What's a typical Swedish breakfast? I think it depends a little bit on your family, but what we ate this morning and what I usually ate when I grew up as well is a bowl of yogurt, a sandwich, a boiled egg and cup of coffee. Some people also adds oatmeal porridge is quite common to have for breakfast here as well. But we eat that always in Japan, but we didn't, and we did have it here in Sweden too, but not this morning. Not this morning. So now once I cross this bridge here, we will be in the older part of town. No muesli, yeah, granola or muesli is quite common with the yogurt. Is there any food or nostalgic traditions that you can't wait to re-experience? I don't know. I am looking forward to one of the most Swedish foods ever, which is kebab pizza, which is basically a mashup between kebab and pizza. And that's very Swedish. So I'm looking forward to that. Here we go. Here's the river. Here's the river, and here's the old town. Have you bowed or tried to say you want to pay with suica yet? I probably bowed a couple of times. Yes, that's very deeply ingrained in me now. I don't think I said that I wanted to pay with suica though. Cover photo, yes, that's what I was looking for. My phone, so I can snap a little cover photo here. It's a good place for a thumbnail photo. Yes, I will walk towards the cathedral for sure. So yeah, let's walk down here. First, kräftor. I'm not that fond of kräftor, to be honest. It's not bad, but it's not like something I crave. Kräftskiva though, yeah, that's true. That would be fun. That would be fun. So kräftskiva is this like kind of event we have. It's in the towards the end of the summer, right? When we eat, in August, when we eat crayfish and drinks lots of alcohol. I think I talked about that on a stream in Tokyo not too long ago, actually. Meguro River, just wider version. Yeah, wider and no sakura maybe. Sweden Saka. So down here, this is actually a pretty nice restaurant, this Red House. I've been here a couple of times. My mom likes this place. コンビニありますか？あったよ。20分前コンビニの中に入ったコーヒー買った。So yeah, this restaurant is quite nice. You can sit here just next to the river and enjoy a nice little meal. And this view, not bad, eh? So these are traditional Swedish houses. So this was built in the 1760s, so 250 years ago. ね、250年前の作った建物。結構古い。でもそんなにボロボロではない。中も暖かいし。多分今なんかオフィスとかやってると思います。レストランもあるけど。So yeah, we have lots of these. Like the old houses in Sweden are usually very, very old. This reminds me of Bergen, Norway. Yeah, there's many houses like this in Norway too. And this is probably someone's home. Very nice. And this was built in the 1880s. これ200年前ですね。作った。What's the temperature? It was what, 16 degrees, right? So about half compared to Tokyo. Are you trespassing? No, I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to go here. Yeah, because this is like a hairdresser in here. Made in Sweden. Nice. Thank you for bumping into me. That was interesting. I'm not wearing the pink shorts. I'm not wearing pink shorts. No, I'm wearing... Actually, my shoes are very dirty because it was raining hard yesterday. And I haven't cleaned my shoes. But no, I'm wearing like a knit sweater and a jacket. It's not... I don't know how much I will be able to wear my pink shorts, to be honest. It might be too cold. Any beer break or coffee break? Well, I got a coffee. I think this time on a Sunday nothing is open, so I can't do a stop at a proper coffee shop, unfortunately. Yeah, 16 degrees must feel really refreshing. Yeah, like I said in the beginning of the stream, like it feels like you take one breath here and you get twice the amount of oxygen compared to one breath in Japan during the summer. In Tokyo, are there any ordinary residential places that are over 200 years old? No. Maybe you could find some like edge case in the countryside where some person lives in a like super old building. But you know, in Japan, like 30 years is considered old, and few buildings last like more than 50 years before they get knocked down. So they're not really built to last, which is a big difference compared to here. Here the houses are properly insulated and they're built in a way that mostly makes them last for a pretty long time. But that's not like the purpose, like the goal in Japan. Oh, thank you, Garfield. Beer Fund, Coffee Fund. Thank you for your next stop. Thank you very much. I don't think earthquakes is the main reason though. I mean, that's maybe part of it, but these days Japanese buildings are very earthquake proof. I think probably the weather and mold is more of a concern in Japan, but then it's also the mental difference. Like in Japan, people want to move into new houses, especially if you're like newly married and you're starting a family. Then like, yeah, moving into a newly built house is also kind of considered nice and something you want to do. Whereas in Sweden, it's usually the older houses are more expensive and nicer in many ways. The newer houses are a little bit worse quality here in Sweden. Or correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the impression I have. Hey Spike Live, I'm in a town called Eskilstuna. It's in the video description or in the video title. Bakeries, yeah, I know the German bakeries are awesome. You can find bakeries like that sometimes in Sweden, but not so easily. I don't know if there's any bakery around here. Are there many people using bicycles? Yes, it is. It is. Bicycle is a popular means of transportation within the cities here. Here's some like rental party, like you can rent this place to have a party. Here's a photographer. Oh, interesting. Weddings and baby photos. Nice. So if any of you ever need a photographer in Eskilstuna, you might want to check out this place. God morgon. Eskilstuna delicatesshandel is closed on Sunday. Ah, that's a bummer. A lot of shops are closed on Sundays here actually. So now we're back here at this river. And that's the cathedral again over there. But this looks like I can't get through here. That's too bad. Haven't seen much people outside. Yeah, again, it's early morning on a Sunday, so it's. But in general, yeah, even if you go out during the busy times, the number of people is relatively low, but what you're looking at right now is probably the quietest time of the week. The car driving into the water sign, was it one of those here maybe? Yeah, this is a funny sign, right? Stockholm tour, absolutely. Stockholm videos are coming. I haven't been to Stockholm yet, except, well, we landed at Stockholm airport, but we haven't been to the city center in Stockholm yet. But we will, and there will be Stockholm videos, of course. Have you tried Swedish banana pizza? Yes, I have. I don't like banana in food though. But some people do, but I'm not one of them. What type of jobs does this city have? Good question. I honestly don't know. 海外は夜になると治安が悪いらしい。海外の言葉はあんまり好きじゃない。なんか国によって全く違いますだから、海外ってどこ？スウェーデンならまあ街によって安全さが変わりますね。この街ならまあちょっと行かない方がいいところあるかもしれないけど、この辺とか散歩すると全然問題ないと思います。でもスウェーデンはそんなに危ない国ではないですね。そう、日曜日はやってないお店が多いですね。A lot of shops are not open on Sundays here. スウェーデン人は休みのが大好きので、日曜日ならほとんどの人は休み。You're probably the only one who can speak Japanese in Eskilstuna. Maybe. ここもちょっとボロボロなマンションですね。これ多分80年前ぐらい作ったと思います。This apartment building is a little bit old and not super nice. This is nicer and much older. In the 50s, 60s and 70s and 80s, Eskilstuna was an industrial city. Now many industries have been closed down. I see, thank you. So what do people do now? Like, what jobs are common in this city now? Let's throw away this coffee. Oops. Difficult to do that with one hand, and now I need some sanitizer. That's still the case. この地域は何の名前ですか？動画のタイトルで書いてありますけど、エスキルストゥーナっていうの町です。Are you going to the Baltic Sea? Maybe. I'm actually invited to a friend's house. They have like a summer house on an island in the Archipelago. So I hope we can go there. How far is it from Stockholm? 1 hour by train from here. Some people actually live here and commute to Stockholm. Here you can have a look at the local wildlife. This park is called City Park, Stadsparken. Okay, thanks for it's great to have like a local in the chat who can give us some like updated info. May I know why you're back in Sweden? So I'm having a bit of summer holiday, summer vacation, taking a break. I don't like Japan in the summer, it's too hot. So yeah, me and my family is here visiting my parents and seeing friends back in Sweden. So we will be here until the end of August. そう、まだ結構早いです。ほとんどの人はまだ寝てると思います。There's some sort of monument here. Let's see. I'm kind of happy and relieved that so many people are watching my stream from Sweden. I didn't expect like 500 people to tune into a walk like this. So this is like some monument for the war veterans, but Sweden hasn't been in a war in like over 400 years, I think. So it's a kind of weird thing to have a monument for them. According to Wikipedia, this city has about 100,000 population. Okay, someone just told me 67,000. Maybe 100,000 is like with the surrounding areas as well. UN missions, yeah, could that be why they have a monument like that? Maybe. We have peacekeeping soldiers in Afghanistan. Yes, that we do. And I think one person in the chat has been one of those. Yeah, Carola, you're a veteran. That's pretty cool that you can say that you're a veteran. Reminds me of Lotus in Ueno Park, yeah. And here you have one of the city buses. That's the only public transportation in this city. There's no subway or anything like that, since it's such a small town. There's the train station with a few like regional trains connecting this city to other cities in the surrounding area. But yeah, obviously like the big difference, which you just can't ignore when you come from Japan, is just the enormous difference in population density. Obviously, like there's just so much space and so few people in Sweden. So that's both a blessing and a curse. I mean, one of the reasons why Tokyo is so exciting is because it's so dense and there's so many people there, of course. But after living there for a long time, coming back to a place like this is really a breath of fresh air and very relaxing in many ways. This is not my hometown, no. I never lived in this city. My mom lives here. She moved here, yeah, like after I moved out of home. But this has never been my own home. There's a pride flag. Hey. そうですね。今日は水の口じゃないですね。What do people do during the weekends in Sweden? I don't know. What do people do here? I think the main street, like with the shops, that's gonna be open soon. So there is like shops open on the weekends, but only like the big like shopping areas. I think most people like enjoy being out in the nature. And yes, both these are hotels. Some nice public art here. 空が広く見えますね。そうですね。そうですね。冬はここ冷えてますね。もしかしてアイススケーティングもできるかもしれない。Yeah, in the winter this turns to ice. Not sure if you can do ice skating here, but on some of the lakes and rivers in Sweden people do ice skating during the winter. No shorts, yeah, no shorts. It's too cold for shorts. I'm wearing long pants today. Beer o'clock, no beer o'clock, no. Are you far from the ocean? Yeah, I'm more inland. I'm close to Mälaren, which is the biggest lake in Sweden, which is also connected to the ocean. That is not so far from here. But to the ocean, I think I have to go to Stockholm, so about 1 hour by train. Where's the cathedral? Pink pants. No, sorry, no pink pants. They're black. They're black today. Can you explore the residential areas too? I think in the start of the stream I was in some residential areas, but it's pretty much mixed. I mean, these are residential buildings down there. So sure, I can walk through some residential areas as well. Klosterkyrka. That's the name of this church and this cathedral. Thank you. Melody Matilde, look at lovely Sweden. Thank you. Welcome. A sleepy Sunday morning in a Swedish small town today. Okay, so this is not so old. It's just like less than 100 years old. I would expect it to be older actually. According to one of the viewers, or Per-Ola Mjömark, who is not just any viewer, he's more like a living Wikipedia page. Yeah, he just informed us that this was completed in the, what was it, 1927? Yeah, until the end of August it will be Sweden Explorer. Then I will be back in Japan again. 1929 it was finished, yes. So yeah, to the person who wanted to see some residential areas, here you have, this is all residential down here. Are you going to the north of Sweden? I don't think so, no. Since we're here, you know, the entire family, and we have a little daughter, traveling like too far is a bit complicated. So we will be in this area, we will go to Stockholm, and we will be in Malmö in the south of Sweden as well. So that's the plan. We should do Strängnäs. Actually, I want to go to Strängnäs. Yeah, do you want to meet there, Pio? Will you visit your hometown later? Yes, I will. Yeah, slowly more people are coming out. And yeah, no pew pew, pew pew. No sound like that on the crosswalks. So that's maybe a bit sad. So now I will head down there, which is like the old kind of industrial area, but now it's been like turned into, I think, some like new apartments. And here I guess they're building a new playground. That's a pretty nice playground. I could definitely see my daughter enjoy playing somewhere like here, but it's not open yet though. It looks quite nice. It's a nice contrast to the playgrounds in Tokyo, which I often think are pretty sad. When are you going to Malmö? I'm going to Malmö on Friday. And we'll stay there for about a week, maybe a little bit more than that. But yeah, the old industrial area, it was relatively recently, I think, they kind of rebuilt it and turned it to, there's an art museum there, and there's a newly I think, relatively newly built bathhouse and lots of really nice apartments in old like factory buildings. Did you have any authentic Swedish knäckebröd yet? Yes, I did. I did have knäckebröd the other day. And then I think down here there's also a pretty nice beer brewery, like a micro-brewery, which is also a bar. But they're not open yet. Otherwise it would have been great to do a beer o'clock break there. Why the big fence? I think this place is still under construction. Probably not entirely done with it. That's why it's fenced off right now. Do you have furniture that's not IKEA? Yeah. I think most Swedes, unless you're a student, you probably prefer to not only have IKEA furniture, because it feels a little bit too generic for us Swedes. These also looks relatively new apartment buildings. Maybe. Copenhagen is close to Malmö. Yeah, I might go to Copenhagen as well. I think so. I want an apartment with a balcony. Yeah, these are quite nice. They have a nice view and they have this like glassed-in balconies, so you can actually use them all year round if you get some decent heating. They're almost like an extra room. I don't know if you can see it here, but like people really put like furniture on those balconies and they're pretty huge. Someone asked about my cell phone plan. Maybe that was yesterday's stream. But yeah, I'm able to use my Japanese SIM cards here in Sweden. But with Rakuten I only have like 2 gigs of data, which isn't even enough for one stream. So I got a Swedish SIM card. So I paid 350 crowns for 100 gigs, which should be enough for my streaming needs here. So that's what I'm using now. Copenhagen and Stockholm are red listed now. Oh really? That's not good. Yeah, Ray, you asked about the data situation. Yes. So, yeah. It's not enough for streaming, but if you're just going somewhere for a few days and you just use your phone for checking email, then yeah, 2 gigs is plenty. But for someone like me, is the Ö in Sweden the same as German Ö? Yes, it's the same. It's the same pronunciation. Sky Ash, you stayed at the Clarion Hotel. Oh really? That down here? Oh no, this one. Oh, this is a hotel. Oh, that's actually quite nice. This is a hotel. But this also had the building age listed somewhere. It was built 1832, so almost 200 years old. And it's now a hotel. Oh, thank you, Tom Mec 1979. Thank you for the super chat. Oh. Dog parade. Yeah, more and more people are coming out now. Now it's almost 10 o'clock, so I think now is the time when maybe some of the shops are opening. Ah. So yeah, I think this was probably used to power these. So these are old factories, and I guess they tapped into the water here to use as to power the factories. Let's see. I wonder if we can walk down here. It looks like it. Let's hope we're not trespassing. No, I think we're allowed to walk here. Thank you, Clayton. A little for your Swedish SIM card. Thank you very much. Oh, the fish. I think there's fish here, but I can't see any. Looks a bit like industrilandskapet in Norrköping. Yes, and I'm actually planning to go to Norrköping as well. I want to shoot like several videos from Norrköping. Norrköping is the town where I grew up, where I lived until I was 18, where I went to school and so on. So just for my own nostalgia, I want to shoot a couple of videos there. Fishies. It's like helicopter. Show your home. My home is in Japan though. Can't really show much of a home here because I don't have any. Thank you, Edwin, for the super chat. Here's the museum, but it's closed right now. I don't know exactly what kind of museum. I think it's like more like local city museum, maybe, about this area. So this guy is kind of like some sort of founding father of the industrial history of this town, and this museum is dedicated to him. I'm not sure if I should sit on his lap. But yeah, these guys are fishing actually. So there should be some fish in here. He looks pretty bored, yeah. Here you have some good old machine. I don't know what this is. Does anyone know what kind of machine this is? So this is what I was talking about. This is an old factory building, but it's turned into apartments now. They have really nice big balconies. That's probably some of the more expensive apartments in this city, I would guess. Years ago, Sweden was one of the poorest countries in Europe. Yeah, that's true. It was just a cold country with lots of potatoes and not much else. But look at us now. We're doing quite well. Here's the bathhouse. I went here with my wife actually 3 years ago. Like first time we came here together in the middle of the winter. We went to this place. They have like a pretty nice kind of spa area where they also have like this sunroom because the winters here in Sweden are pretty harsh. There's hardly any sunlight or just a few hours. But so in this spa room they have like a sunroom where you can have this artificial sunlight and sounds of being on a tropical beach. It's pretty cheesy, but it did actually give us a bit of a energy boost. Ja, badhus, Joel. It was pretty nice. Have you walked through the whole city yet? I walked around the city center. I didn't really pass through much of the actual city center, just a very, very brief little walk at the main square. Munktel Museum seems to be great for kids. I see. Maybe I should go there with my little one then. Yeah, here's this little beer brewery, micro-brewery, Eskilstuna Ölkultur. It's quite nice. So you can sit here and drink beer. That would be a great place. I hope I can do a beer o'clock break here at some point before I leave Sweden. No vending machines. Yeah, vending machines are pretty rare in Sweden. You can find them sometimes at like train stations, but yeah, compared to Japan, it's obviously extremely different. And here's another one of these old factory buildings that they turn into apartments. These are also apartments now. No light, salty lychee from a vending machine. No, not for a couple of more months. Konbini no biiruタイムスウェーデンもできるかな。できるけど、なんかコンビニのビールはなんか 3.5%、アルコールは 3.5% 以下、あんまり美味しくない。それよりもっとアルコールが入ってるビールはなんていうお酒屋さんだけ売ってる。そのお店はあんまり営業時間はちょっと少ない。夜6時までかな。平日だけ。Det är väldigt korrekt analys, Per-Ola. Yes, that was indeed an explanation of the Swedish alcohol regulation, that we can only buy alcohol until like 6 o'clock on weekdays if you wanted something stronger than 3.5%. How was your journey to Sweden? I talked about that in the beginning of this stream, so you can go back and watch that part maybe, but in general, the short version, it was bad, but not as bad as expected. Flying long haul flight with a baby is a challenge, but our baby did relatively well, I think. Was Björn Borg a national hero? I think so. At least to people who care about sports. I'm not one of those, so I can't really relate, but I think some people took great pride in coming from the same country as Björn Borg. Time for a sit if you need it. It's okay, I will walk a little bit more, then I'm gonna probably end this stream quite soon, because it's already been close to half an hour and a half. So Have you been to the Vasa Museum? Yes, I have. It's really nice. It's really nice. I went a couple of years ago, and then I think it's one of these places where probably most Swedish school kids, at least if you're anywhere relatively close to Stockholm, most Swedish school kids go there on a study trip. Do you have any favorite Swedish national heroes? Do I? Good question. I'll think about it. No one really immediately pops into my mind, but I'm pretty proud of how Sweden, despite being such a small country, we're pretty advanced within IT, that our little country has produced companies like Spotify and Skype, and lots of great gaming companies as well. That's pretty cool, I think. ABBA or PewDiePie are not people that I feel any direct pride about. No, sorry. Ericsson, Roxette. But yeah, I think despite our tiny little size and tiny population, I think the fact that we have so many global companies and globally well-recognized brands, that's a pretty good, impressive part of I think it has a lot to do with the education system and the culture in general, that it's kind of encouraging people to do what they want and to follow their dreams. Which is cleaner, Japan or Sweden? I think they're both clean countries in general. I think the nature is cleaner in Sweden. Like a place like this, you could probably swim here. Maybe there's no good place for it, but even like in central Stockholm you can actually swim. You can definitely not swim in Tokyo Bay unless you want to get sick. It's not allowed to swim in Tokyo Bay. So I think the nature is cleaner here. Like we have lots of lakes also, which are really lovely and clean, and you can go for a swim. But I think when it comes to like the amount of trash on the streets, I think Tokyo has the upper hand. I mean, here you have like lots of cigarette butts, for example, which is quite common in Sweden, sadly. And you don't really see that in Japan as often. And you also see more graffiti here. So, but I think both countries are relatively clean in general. You're allowed to do fishing here, but you need to have like a license. Not anyone can just come here for fishing, but you need to get like a license for it. Really, that's part about the Olympics. I wouldn't drink the lake water here. That sounds like a very dumb idea. I'm surprised if they did something like that, but there's unfortunately no limits to stupidity. What season is it currently? It's definitely summer. This is Swedish summer. It's a little bit chilly today. I think the weeks before I came here it was relatively hot. Like it was like in the upper 20s, but since we got here it's been more like lower 20s during the days. The boats travel here. No, I don't think boats can travel here specifically. I don't think they can pass this bridge, and there was also this sluice gate down there, so I don't think any boats come here. But I think further downstream I think there are boats. There's actually harbors for like small privately owned like recreational boats to stop. Oh, this is also a nice little photo spot. Let's see if I can capture this with this man in the foreground. There we go. That might very well end up being the thumbnail photo actually. Yeah, Rome or cities like further south in Europe, I feel that the cities are dirtier than here up in the north because there's just more people. I think I will head back towards to the main street and probably end the stream there. Yeah, but I was just waiting for it to turn green, but then I realized, oh, this is not in use. I'm a bit too focused on the shot right now. So here's like some theater. Interesting. I don't know if they turn them off on Sundays. Maybe they're only in use during times when there's more traffic. Could very well be the case. Not really any need for traffic lights this time of the day. And here's the library. Swedish cities in general has pretty nice libraries actually. That's something that I really used to enjoy when I was younger. I spent a lot of time at the library. In libraries in Sweden you can also like not just borrow books but also like video games and movies and stuff like that. So they're pretty good. They invest a lot of government money into the library facilities because they have play an important role in educating the population. I'm not sure if it's the same in other countries in Europe actually. I think I'm guessing that Sweden might be a little bit on the more extreme end. Yeah, signal strength is fine. We haven't had any hiccups yet. I guess I shouldn't say that because that's just asking for trouble. Yes, Kenmoji-san, no people because it's early morning on a Sunday, so it's very, very quiet. But it's very quiet in general though. But this is maybe the most quiet time of the week. Most shops are closed, so. Yeah, we have McDonald's in Sweden too. Oh, so now maybe the coffee shops are open. Yes, there's a Wayne's Coffee here. And then this is like the Swedish equivalent of Starbucks, Espresso House. My brother used to work for them for many, many years actually. And now we're back at this main street, the Schotengai. Down here is that square where I went a little bit earlier in the stream. It's down there. Yeah, here's like some shopping mall which is not open. I think this is another shopping mall down there. Have you ever played pop and music? I played a lot of pop and music when I was younger, but these days I don't play it much. But I think it's still 100 yen per game. But yeah, I think I will wrap things up for today. It's been an hour and a half. I hope you enjoyed this Swedish live stream. I didn't expect so many people to tune in actually, but yeah, about 500 viewers, which is impressive. Hope you will join me on my next one. I'm not sure if I will stream tomorrow. I'm not sure. So you know, this month, this time here in Sweden is mostly for me and my wife to get some time to wind down. So I'm not gonna stream as frequently as I used to in Tokyo, but my goal is about 2 or 3 videos per week, and at least one of those will be live streams. Probably on the weekend I will live stream. As for videos on other days, it might be mostly 4K pre-recorded videos. But I don't know, whenever I have time, whenever I'm at a nice place worth streaming from, I will try to do so. But yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye bye. Hej då. Mata ne. Vi ses. Oh, and by the way, if you're watching this and you haven't liked the video yet, please do so. That helps a lot. Also, I have a Patreon, but let's not get into that. It's linked in the video description if you're interested. Okay, bye bye.